Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of WLW Behind the Curtain. This is my first time hosting this, as I'm very new to WLW, but we have a reoccurring guest, a former TV champion, Mike Fletcher Jr., joining us. My name is Reed Franklin. And we have a lot of stuff to talk about after this past coming weeks of WLW, Bushido, and RCW for that matter. And I think we should start with the beginning with RCW. I think that's where we need to begin to tell this story that has seemingly swept over all of professional wrestling to this point. So, I mean, Fletcher, you were there, Clash of the Immortals, right? And during Clash of the Immortals, there was a match between Hikaru Kojima and Bree Simmons, the American Dream.
Hmm.
In that match, it was a hell of a match. If you recall, it was a banger. It was one way to end the year for RCW in 2025. Clash of the Immortals, what a success it was to, that. And I was excited to be part of it. It was a phenomenal show, phenomenal matches, but at the end of the night, what we were left was with questions. When Hikaru Kojima won the RCW Women's Championship. Now, and to be honest with you, I mean, could have gone either way. I think between those two women, it could have gone either way, and it didn't. To me personally, the right woman won because obviously she had more in the tank. She put it together at the end, and so on and so forth.
Agreed.
But after that, something happened. BCP came down to the ring and offered to join Bullet Club Platinum, and Hikaru said no. And then the turn. Bree Simmons attacking Hikaru Kojima, and her brothers just watching. She's getting torn apart. Fletcher, what was going through your mind during that?
I think we all were kind of in an utter state of shock. I think we all kind of were like, what does this mean? What is going on? Because, like you said, Bree was basically like, you could even say was the face of the RCW women's division.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And for Kojima to realize her dream, to win the title, and she was right there. So this was like 1A, 1B, and then all of a sudden, we know that Bullet Club Platinum was wanting to make this into like a family thing and everything else. So maybe that's what it was. But if you also remember, that was right around the same time when Hanzo Hideo stabbed my buddy Jake in the back. And that we'll get into that in a little bit, but he stabbed him in the back. So even at the moment when they offered, she's like, "You betrayed, like you brought dismay to the family. I'm not gonna, align myself with you guys after what you did to Jake."
Yeah.
So she made the choice, and I don't think none of us thought that Bree was going to turn, and she did. And, like you said, my jaw was on the floor. Your jaw was on the floor. We kind of were like, what the hell? How did, when, where, why, how? I think those were the questions that was running through my head the whole time when this was happening.
Then immediately following Clash of the Immortals, we had Thy Kingdom Come. Thy Kingdom Come was, without a shadow of a doubt, one of the most despicable acts I've seen in professional wrestling in a long time. I was not on commentary, but I watched it happen. Killer Langston joining Bullet Club Platinum, turning his back on everyone that has ever supported him, selling out. And he's even acknowledged this, and we'll go into that in a minute, in costing the Nightmare the Dragon Gate Championship and making Hanzo Hideo retain Killshot doing what he did. And I know in that moment there was a lot of questions about what's next. What does this mean? What's going to happen with professional wrestling going forward with these three companies? Because now you have this conglomerate that's starting to do things. And this is people are saying like I've read on social media and I've read like, oh, this is just House of Red. No,
Oh,
no, this is something much much worse. Um, this is something that we look at it as it has legs. House of Red had legs on one brand. This has legs not only over both brands of WLW, but over Bushido and RCW.
yeah.
Um, and in that moment when he stabbed Kill in the back, obviously you coming to the aid, there was a lot of chaos in that. Zilla and Hawaii was a part of that. A bunch of guys trying to help the Nightmare, trying to nip this in the butt, if you will. Um, and in that moment, for me, it was shock. Seeing Kill Langston do what he did. I mean, what was going through your mind when that happened?
I mean, like you said, it was just pure mayhem. Inside the Tokyo Dome, that night, everything just changed. It was like you said, it was a shocker. We were all stunned, because once Killa did what he did, um, a whole bunch of guys made a beeline towards the ring.
Yeah.
Not just myself.
Mhm.
You had Cartapello, who actually is prominent in Bushido. You had you had Ramon.
Congratulations to him, by the way, for
Yeah,
winning the battle royal, getting a shot at the Dragon Gate Championship. I mean, that's huge for him.
absolutely, no doubt about that. You had Mexi's brother. You had Mexi's brother going out there. You had Krios Kalego going
Oh,
actually
I'm
the
sorry,
whole
not
Kalego.
not the uh, Dragon Gate, the junior heavyweight. Go ahead.
Yeah. But you had the whole Kalego family going out
Yeah,
there. We were getting stopped. I was able to break through. Me and Mikey Lee actually broke through, and we got down to ringside. And by the time we hit the
it was
ring,
already over.
not only was it over, Jake was gone. Like
Yeah,
nobody saw him.
and
Like he
so
straight up vanished.
yeah, and I guess let's start there. Let's because obviously you being an RCW, Jake being the owner, the Nightmare being the owner of RCW, and obviously a new GM on Saturday nights, Mark Johnson, and then Mexi's still in the GM role on Mondays, and with me taking over on commentary due to this, and then Jake Ross also stepping in when where needed. Uh, no one's seen or heard from the Nightmare since that night. He's not returning phone calls.
Yeah.
He's not
It,
answering texts. He's not. Hell,
yeah.
even his wife doesn't know where he is.
Yeah.
Um,
Sabrina's
and so
Sabrina's almost.
the problem is, we've thought about getting the authorities involved, but Sabrina is refusing to let us do so, which is fine. It's a family matter. Obviously, we're not gonna pursue it with the authorities if she doesn't want to. Obviously, she knows something that we don't about the man. So, and that's the thing for me is where is he? What kind of state is he in
Yeah.
after the shock of a man that you trained, a man that you helped in his career turning on you. And I think that's another huge part of it too, was like you said, he got down to the ring, and the fact that he just was gone. That's a big thing. It's felt throughout all of RCW and WLW and Bushido for sure. I mean that guy was very important to decisions being made, and now you have him be gone, and guys have had to step up. I know you have stepped up behind the scenes. I know uh, Jake Ross has stepped up in places where it's needed to be, and that's kind of the thing that I'm at this point where it's like, okay, so here we are. We're on the road to Genesis 3. Will be taking place in the Rose Bowl in Pasadena. Uh, and again, I mean, without the nightmare, the question starts to become, okay, well, where do we go? What happens? You know, he was a big part behind the scenes. Now he's gone. We don't know where he is, and we're left with this pit of, okay, what happens now?
Yeah.
And then following that, there was a build to WLW Last Stand live from San Antonio, Texas. It was a sold out show. It was a hell of a show, a fun show. We saw some champions be crowned. Some weird things happen. We'll go more into that in just a moment. Uh, but let's talk about the first thing that happened that is kind of on everyone's mind. Um, when it comes to Last Stand in Bullet Club Platinum, uh, what was with all of the interferences, not only just in the main event, which we'll get to for sure, but I mean, you got what? El Numero Uno facing off against El Noche Rojo,
Yep.
poised to win it. At Toro de Miedo, dressed in black, taking out El Numero Uno. El Noche Rojo wins. He's the last man standing. Not only after that, I mean, earlier in the night, you had Hina Megumi retain. What a defense by her. I mean, it was a phenomenal defense. But Megumi seemingly leaving with Kakashi Kushida, a member of Bullet Club Platinum. We don't know exactly what's going on with that. There is no statement from that. And then, Galero del Tormenta costing DOW the tag team championships.
Yeah. And DLW it looked like they had the titles won.
100%. They set up for war crimes. They had him at the pin, and then Galero del Tormenta.
Yeah.
And you know, it's a matter of, okay, well, now they have the tag titles. They seemingly have the Tokyo Championship. And not only that, there's a little something that happened again with Bree Simmons. And as we know, Hanzo Hideo says his queen, Bree Simmons.
Yep.
But why attack Himari Okada?
I think with that one, it's pretty obvious. I think what Bree's trying to do is to take, because if you want to take the title, you got to think about it this way. Himari is, without a doubt, the greatest female wrestler WLW has ever had in the history of the company.
It's fair.
And is one of the most dominant. Mm-hmm. Maxine, you can view as, she's a rising star, great champion. But I kind of feel like if you're Brie, who could you beat in a one-on-one? Do you try to go after the legend herself? Or do you feel like you got a better shot at Maxine? I kind of feel like if Bullet Club Platinum is making this play of having Brie go after this title, I think they feel like they have a better shot at taking the belt off of Maxine than trying to deal with the Painmaker herself, Himari Okada. So I kind of feel like this was kind of their way of telling Maxine, we're coming after you, but we'll let you keep the belt for now. You're keeping it warm for us because I think we're gonna take it from you.
Yeah, and I mean, let's start with I didn't know exactly what the hell was going on with that. Frankly, I still don't understand it entirely, but it happened. It was a moment where, it occurred, and we had that situation with that. And so then comes, before we get into the only good thing about all of this, we'll talk about the Ruby match after we talk about the main event of Bullet Club Platinum and Killa Langston and what they did. So let's get into it. Great match. Killa Langston, Jamar both went back and forth. I mean, they beat the piss out of each other. That's probably an understatement.
Understatement. Yep.
These two laid it out on the line, and Jamar, again, being Jamar, being the Emperor of WLW, doing what he does best, dominating at the end of this match. I mean, there was, without a shadow of a doubt, if you would have fucking put a gun to my head, I would have told you this match was over and Jamar was
Yeah.
going to retain.
Yeah.
Shaw from out of nowhere jumped the barricade, threw Jamar into the ring post, delivered a World's Strongest Slam. Not once, not twice, but 3 times. Once into concrete, once through the announce table, once in the ring. Now, at this point, Killa Langston could have covered him, and that would have been it. But
Yeah.
who the fuck decides that I need to make this personal and I need to make sure that you understand why this happened? Hanzo Hideo slides out 2 times, delivers the final chamber. And what does Killa do? Doesn't deliver the kill shot. Hell, doesn't even deliver locked and loaded.
Yeah. No need.
Just
The damage
laughs.
is already done. Yeah.
Laughs, covers, wins the World Heavyweight Championship. Now, usually with Killa Langston, we're all excited. Oh, hell yeah, he's a champion. Not this Killa. Not this guy. This isn't something to celebrate. This isn't something to, be like, oh yeah, fucking what a way to win. This is what have you done feeling.
Yeah.
And Shaw, I have no words for. I don't. Obviously, he's joined forces with Bullet Club Platinum, and I mean, I said it best. Without the Nightmare, without you being there, without Mikey Lee being there, without anyone being there, Jamar was alone, and he lost the World Heavyweight Championship. And the crowd was silent.
Yeah.
And then the booze came in after the fact. When we cut, all of Bullet Club Platinum came out. Kakashi Kushida, Hanzo Kojima, Hanzo Hideo, and they all applauded Shaw and Galeno del Tormenta and El Toro de Miero, Perros Brutales, and Hida Megumi was in the background, with obviously Bree Simmons. And there was a shot that I'm not going to post because I was very upset with Bullet Club Platinum standing over the body of Jamar and his status going forward as we go towards Genesis is unknown at this time. So, what does that mean for the World Heavyweight Championship? Well, it belongs to Bullet Club Platinum for now. It's depressing. It's. I think we needed to win that one to maintain some sort of stranglehold on power, but without the Nightmare, without the World Heavyweight Championship, I don't know.
It's right now, like you said. I think you referenced this very good, great at the very beginning. Is that before I came into WLW, there was the Tyler White Corporation.
Yeah,
Then you
yeah.
had then during that time, then you had the Society. You had the Bloodline. You have that merged into the Dynasty. Then you had like you said, you had um
House of
the
Kaieto,
House of
House of
Red.
El Gerald, House of
Yeah,
Red. Yeah.
House of Red. But the thing was, it was all isolated. It was all where all these groups are wanting to take over just WLW. We've never ever have a stable that's trying to take over 3 brands. and it looks like up to this point, it looks like they have a lockstep and they're locked in on WLW.
Not only that,
Bushido,
they have the Dragon Gate
Bushido,
Championship.
yeah. And so you got maybe Bushido in play because obviously Dragon Gate title, and you must think that they have their eyes on every title there, and then
Jess,
obviously
mhm,
RC Dub,
Mr.
and
Immortal, Eli
yeah,
Burton. I mean, I
I
don't
mean
think anyone's safe.
all those guys are yeah.
Yeah.
So it's crazy right now what's going on. It's just like you said, we've never had a period like this, and look, I I know there's a lot of questions going around. I know a lot of people are wondering where do we go from here? And that's a major question that we're going to have to answer, but we're just going to have to the thing is I think is that we're so worried about trying to put so many fires out that there's not enough guys that can it's like we're getting hit from so many different sides. It's like we've
Yeah.
got
Who the
blindsided.
hell do you turn to
Yeah,
when there is seemingly no end to this? And
yeah,
this episode isn't all supposed to be all doom and gloom. We'll get to the good part when we get to the end of the show. I wanted to wait to get to the end to do the good one because it'll end it on a great note, and we'll go from there. First off, we'll start with the Amazing Jess winning the uh, Bushido Championship. I'm blanking on the fucking name of the title right now.
yeah. It is the Bushido World Heavyweight Title.
What a match that was.
Yeah,
Beating Congo. Um, I mean, it was a phenomenal match. Congrats to the champion. Incredible performance. La Parca Sombra being WLW champion has also been a phenomenal thing. And then you on WLW side of things, you have the open challenges on the Mexico Championship with a dominant champion in both the vengeful Adam Jennings as your strong style champion and the Mexico champion Colossus Rex. They've been destroy those are the guys you got to look to in these times, and I think that's what we'll do for that matter. And obviously working with Krios and Mexi and trying to figure out exactly what we got to do. But the last piece of this episode before we call it a night and we move on into the build for Genesis 3, which is just right around the corner, Pasadena, the Rose Bowl. It's going to be a sold out crowd. I can without a doubt for sure. Let's talk about the last stand match between Ruby Storm and Leon Sanchez.
mm,
Oh my god.
yeah,
I
yeah,
said at the beginning of the match, these two understood the assignment, and my god, did they. Ladders, tables, chairs, barbed wire baseball bats, nailed boards, glass shards, urns, fucking announce tables. I mean, it was a absolute just slobber knocker. In the words of Jake Ross, it was a beautiful match. And at the end of it, I mean, there was no cheating, there was no involvement from BCP, there was nothing. However, during the entire match, Jake Ross was making it a point to point out that before the match and in the weeks up to the match, taunting, I would assume Sabrina, but saying, Ruby's saying she's with the Nightmare and, the Nightmare's in a hospital and so on and so forth, and just continuously poking the bear.
yeah,
And, me just telling Jake Ross, fuck off, get off your phone, because we're trying to call a match. And the fans thought they were pretty funny, which that's cool. I'm glad you guys thought that was hilarious. But in the time of when we were doing it, I need him to focus. But
yeah,
when in that moment, Ruby Storm didn't cheat. She didn't. She didn't do anything that you weren't allowed to do in those matches. She won with pure determination, putting down Leon Sanchez after putting her through a tropical storm through a
through the
ladder.
yeah,
And good God, I mean, Leon Sanchez, she's recovering. Her neck is fucked right now, but it's one of those things. that, what a match, what a way for, those women to showcase their abilities. And then she came back. The Mexican psychopath, the real Mrs. Nightmare, returned to WLW, and oh my god, what a pop.
Yeah.
My ears were ringing for 2 days. And not only did she come back, she stepped in the ring to the woman who has been running her mouth about her man for the last months, and taunted and said, "You want me? I'm here. Let's do this." And Ruby Storm tried to attack first. Did not go well. Sabrina got the upper hand and immediately dropped the champion, and then to an array of crowds, the crowd's satisfaction, taunting, and as we cut to black before we went to the next match. Welcome back to the Mexican psychopath, the chingada, and just this vixen of violence, Sabrina Dominguez. It's nice to have her back in these times. But what do you make of all of the rumors with Storm and the former WLW champion who is MIA? I mean, is there any validity to it? Is there any?
I mean, according to Creo's basically has been very close to the hip. He hasn't really
Yeah,
said anything
yeah,
about it. Mexi is definitely saying there's smoke, there's fire.
yeah,
According to him, there definitely is something going on.
yeah.
I kind of am in the way that, look, I know Jake from way back. I mean, I know him from Bushido,
You both
and
went to war in a Hell in a Cell. I mean, that changes
yeah,
everything.
and granted, but I mean, even before I knew him from WLW, I knew him from Bushido, and yeah, I mean, Jake's track record is not squeaky clean. I'll give
Correct.
you that. I mean, there was some times, especially when he was in Japan, that you could
There
say
were
he
there were
had
there were things, yeah, for
there
sure.
were things. But as far as stuff like him cheating on Sabrina and all, no, 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 no. I know he cares about Sabrina. I know because he even told me. I remember one time he basically said straight out, Mike, if I ever fuck up with Sabrina, she probably would throw my ass through a fucking table.
Well, yeah, they call
And,
her the
and
vixen of violence for a reason.
yeah,
This bitch is
so
crazy.
so yeah, so hey, you said it, not me. I'm
Yeah,
not gonna go there.
yeah,
But let's just say she did give me a little bit of a tongue lashing after my war with Jake through at the Hell in a Cell. Uh,
yeah,
she she ripped through him, then ripped through me,
yeah,
saying, "What the fuck were we thinking, trying to
yeah.
kill each other like that?" So,
But
uh,
and then after that, I mean, that's exactly why we come back to this question, and I think it's a good point to end on. Is if Ruby doesn't know where he is, this is all smoke and mirrors, which we think it is. Where is he?
yeah,
Where would you go? I mean, someone that you've trained, someone that someone you've built a career for twice now, and they have costed you everything. Where the fuck would you go if not home?
and apparently he has not gone home because Sabrina even as such has said that she has not seen him. I mean, I could show you.
Yeah,
I got
dude, I believe it.
I got
I
I
just
mean
think
I
the
got
question I have is
yeah.
when
I mean
you look at just that moment, you said you got down to the ring, he's not there, he's gone.
yeah.
I
I
that
I
not
I
only
I
is it
do
about his physical safety. I mean, his body's probably destroyed, but mentally,
yeah.
where the fuck is he?
I
Because I've heard stories about the old nightmare. There was years ago where before I joined WLW, I was just on the indie scene in California, and I was moving around, and I was about to go to Japan, and I had an offer with Bushido, and there was a story about one of the wrestlers losing it on one of the other wrestlers to the point where that wrestler had to uh, end his career because of what that wrestler did to him. And there's a reason why no one talks about uh, Kinosuke. God damn it, I can't think of his last name, but no one talks about him anymore because of what the Nightmare did. And in a man with a fractured state of mind, in a man where seemingly we don't know what's next.
Yeah. It's 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 interesting, I'll say that. I mean, I, I wish I could piece it together. I wish I can give you better answers here, Reed, but honestly, I don't even know because like you said, Sabrina doesn't know where he is, Krios doesn't know where he is, Mexi doesn't know where he is. I I the last time I saw him was prior to him going out for that title fight, the Dragon Gate title at the
Was
Dome.
there any? Was there any in like? And this is kind of before we call it. Was there
Sure.
anything that maybe would have given you the sense of, hey, something's not right
No.
before the match, or anything like that,
No.
where you could
No.
look back and be like,
No.
oh, okay,
Because
so there's
yeah,
there's a screw.
I mean there was a basically it was from me and him hanging out prior because I had my match with Mikey Lee. Great
Yeah.
matchup.
Hmm.
Congrats to Mikey on that. Me and him battled it out. We all kind of had a minute just to talk and everything else. Um, it was me, Mikey, Casey Joe, and him. And I was just trying to keep Jake in the zone. Just like, look, do you know what this is all about? We know what the Dragon Gate title means to you. Just go out there and get it. And he was focused, he was locked in, he was ready. So I don't think none of us saw what was about to happen. And I think that's the biggest thing is that when Killer did what he did, it blindsided all of us. And after that, like I said, there was a brawl and a half happening in the back. And then, like I said, I broke through, Mikey broke through, a couple of the guys broke through. We hit the ring, and that was it. I no. And we even asked security, we asked everybody, and they all said the same thing. They don't know what the hell happens. The lights went out. Next thing you know, the lights come back on, and there's nobody in the ring. So I wish I knew. I wish I knew.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, this has been another edition of WLW Behind the Curtain. If we find anything out about the whereabouts of the Nightmare, if anyone has any sort of information about the Nightmare of where he could possibly be, we would appreciate it because, you know, we got a business to run here and we need our guy to be here. Um, but it's been a good show. It's been a great show. I think it's as we go further into WLW and what we have to offer every single one of you, we're only going to get better. And this is not going to be the last show by any stretch of the imaginations for when it comes to WLW or not only WLW but of Behind the Curtain. So we will call that one here for now. Ladies and gentlemen, we hope you all enjoyed the show here this evening. And we hope to see you all in the next one. And we hope to see you at Genesis 3 as we go forth towards that. So for Mike Fletcher Jr., myself, and the rest of the WLW crew, we hope you've all enjoyed, and we will talk to you all on the next one. So have a great evening.